Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Fan Appreciation Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, as I promised at the end of the last episode, tonight's film is probably one of the most unique I've ever had to cover. I say that because, well, you guys have to sort of think about it this way. Every single film that I have covered has been either a gory horror film, or this really horrible comedies, or, well, porno that I hope never to watch again. You know, just really twisted shit. And some of it's good, a lot of it's bad. I've never covered one of these kinds of films. Tonight's film is one of those feel-good films. One of those ones that's just supposed to make you feel all bubbly and happy inside. And normally make me a little sick to my stomach. Tonight's film is August Rush, and I tried to watch the trailer for this thing on YouTube. I should mention the trailer is about 2.5 minutes long. I got about a minute through it and said, oh god, this is going to suck. That is exactly what I said. And now I have no other option. When I first saw the comment on my YouTube channel, which was requesting this, I actually thought the person was joking. But I put it on the wish list anyway, just to kind of, just go, oh, what the hell. About 3 days later, the guy bought it, and he sent me a message saying, hey, dude, I bought it for you. And so now I'm stuck with this. I really don't know if this is going to be a good episode or not, because I don't know if this thing's going to give me anything to rightly work with. But I still have hopes, because, it seems that even with the shittiest films, and even with ones with the stupidest premises and the dumbest genres, I can still weave at least a halfway decent episode out of it. So let's see if I still have the Midas touch with this one. Wow, that actually sounded a little bit that sounded a little bit on the egotistical side, huh? Anyway, I actually am just sort of stalling here. I really don't want to watch this one. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out August Rush. Okay. We're finally into the opening credits of this stupid thing. The one thing I'm going to say is this. This kid has spent the last 4 minutes ranting and raving like a serial killer about the magical joys of music. And the people who call him a freak for this, justifiably call him a freak for this, are being shown as the assholes. I'm sorry, no. If you honestly are going to sit there and you are going to talk about how people are not allowing you to hear the music, you really belong in a rubber fucking room. Just saying. Did this guy just use fantabulous as a song lyric? Who the fuck uses fantabulous in anything? Guys, I actually just kind of feel like mentioning this, and I'm probably going to talk about it again later. But for a movie that's all about music, this music really fucking sucks, man. Listen to this shit, man. Okay, is there a reason why Robin Williams looks so much like Bono from fucking U2? He actually just has this look which just screams scumbag douche. It just kind of reminds me of, Bono. Just sort of thought I'd mention. So this kid, seemingly overnight, goes from not knowing how to play anything, barely knows a damn thing about music outside of just saying it every third word, and now suddenly he's a musical prodigy? I'm sorry guys, but you know what? You can only suspend your disbelief for so fucking long. You really can only do that much. Wow. It took this long for there to finally be a piece of music that I actually would say sounds great. A movie about music took them over an hour to finally get a song that actually sounds good. Okay, so this kid now all of a sudden knows how to read music, knows how to compose music, And like 30 fucking seconds ago, he knew fuck all about it. Again, folks, you can only suspend your disbelief for so goddamn long. And this film is beginning to really strain on my patience. Oh boy, guys, we have father and son playing together for the first time, and maybe if these characters had some level of depth, I might actually care, but no, I don't.
Music is all around us. All you have to do is listen.
I just listened for the last 2 fucking hours, and now I fear that I now officially hate music thanks to this fucking movie. Okay. That's it for August Rush. Oh my god. I gotta pop out the disc. Oh boy. You know, I know that I often say this, but it couldn't be any truer about this. I don't think I've ever been happier finishing a movie. Just, oh god damn it. Where to even start? Well, first of all, I should mention, this movie wants to talk about music. Music is like the prime driving force. Well, it should be mentioned that I'd say about 80% of the music in this film is complete shit. Which is really funny, because when you pop in the disc, the first thing you see after you see the FBI warning is you see an ad for the August Rush soundtrack. No. I will not buy or download anything off of this soundtrack because even the music of that was halfway decent, wouldn't be good enough for me to keep on a fucking MP3 player to listen to later. That's just me. There's no way in hell. Now, besides the almost horrific music, the acting. You see, here's one thing, guys. You have a cast that sounds somewhat promising. That's fine. But it doesn't work when your cast refuses to actually put out a decent performance. Almost everybody's putting out a passable performance. There's only 2 actors I can actually cite as something that would be worth mentioning. The first one is Robin Williams. Robin Williams plays essentially, he basically plays Wizard, and Wizard is similar to Fagin in Oliver Twist. In fact, this whole thing's just a modern retelling of Oliver Twist, except it has been drenched in some horrible liquid which is trying to pass itself off as music. Robin Williams plays the fucking douchebag so well. He really is ridiculously punchable in this film, and that's good, because that was how you wanted that, because that's how they wanted that character to be. That is how they wrote that character. He's really the only one who I'd say actually put in any kind of effort outside of just the bare minimum. The other one is Terrence Howard, who I don't know what the fuck they were trying to go for with this. But Terrence Howard, for some reason, every time he would speak, he always sounded like he was about a half second away from just breaking down and crying. I don't know why. But he just sat there, and he sounded all fucking like weepy and shit, and it was awful. Almost every other actor was just out there going, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to just say my line and move on. And that's fine for actors like Freddie Highmore, because Freddie Highmore is just a kid, and you can't really expect miracles when you're working with child actors, especially child actors who are supposed to play child prodigies, who apparently are even more of a prodigy than any prodigy who's ever lived. See, guys, I'm just going to take this as a wild assumption, but normally musical prodigies, or just prodigies of any kind, normally know how to master one thing, and they know how to master it very, very well. It's very difficult then to take that skill and go and transition it over to something which is similar but also ridiculously different. Within 6 months, August went from knowing absolutely nothing about music except the fact that he can hear it everywhere, to grabbing a guitar, and just like that he knows how to play it. Then he then sees sheet music for the first time, and just like that, he knows how to write music. There's also a piano there. He saw someone playing it for about 30 seconds. Just like that, he knows how to play the fucking piano. He then goes into the church's balcony and he sees the organ, and yep, he knows how to play the organ. What do you know? He just knows how to master everything with almost no training, with almost no time, and that's very hard to actually believe. See, guys, there is something, and I mentioned it while I was doing the reaction chunk of this. It's called suspension of disbelief. Now, what that means is you go into a movie and you are willing to accept certain things, all right? Example, you actually can go into a fantasy film and you are willing to accept wizards and magic and elves and all of this other shit. But when you have a film that is set in a much more realistic setting, it's very difficult to buy that this kid is able to pick up any instrument and know how to master it. That this kid is able to compose a symphony with zero training and almost no time knowing anything about sheet music. It just seems so bizarre, and it's very hard for me to actually, accept that. Now, one other thing. Now, I mentioned earlier that this thing is one of those feel-good Oscar bait style films, and I'm going to tell you, I believe I said this at the very start. I hate these sorts of films. But see, while I dislike films like Forrest Gump because I just don't like the characters and I think that everything's just a little bit too coincidental, I can still see at least a spark of a soul within that film. This thing, on the other hand, is a lifeless, soulless beast that shouldn't be viewed by anybody. It is just one of those films that was written and it was produced simply just to make it. Nobody there was trying to make art, and it's very obvious. And to me, that is just criminal when it comes to films. If you seriously are not going to try, don't bother doing it. And that's the thing, is that August Rush, at least in this form, should never have been made. And what's really sad is this was written by Nick Castle. Now, I actually mentioned him before because he was the director of Mr. Wrong. He also played Michael Myers in Halloween. He wrote this. Now, he has one other writing credit, which I love. He wrote Escape from New York, one of my favorite movies of all time. How he goes from that to this is almost mind-boggling. I really have no fucking clue what the hell was going through his head when he fucking wrote it. But I swear, if I ever see Nick Castle in public, I might have to pop him in the fucking face twice. Once for directing Mr. Wrong, and another for writing this horrible thing. Just, god damn it, this movie was pig shit. There's no other way to put it. Now, because this is Fan Appreciation Month, and this did come off of the wish list, I do have to do the customary shout-out. Now, I actually was looking at this guy's page, and I noticed that he doesn't have any, videos up. So, you guys can just go over there and thank him and, do a few other things. The channel is Action 52 The Movie, and he actually has left a few comments on a bunch of my videos, and he actually is a really cool guy. At least I'm going to assume that he is a guy. Again, I'm not really certain on that, man. Anyway, guys, just, swing on over there, thank him, say hi, friend him, chit-chat with him, because, hey, he actually was able to help me out a little bit because when I did Eraserhead, I said I was no longer going to do pretentious art house bullshit films, and this thing has officially banned all of the shit-tastic, feel-good Oscar bait films from ever coming into this series again. Which, hey, it's always good for me to narrow down my options a little. So, that, folks, is going to do it for this installment of Reaction Review. Oh, wait a minute, I actually have been doing this lately. It's time for me to sort of give you guys the, preview for the next episode. The only thing I'm going to tell you is, it's another animated film from Brazil. Yeah. I don't think I have to go any, farther. You guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about with that. So, you guys are just going to have to wait until next time and you'll get to see me suffer through that. And I know for a fact it's going to be suffering. I can just feel it. So with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.